So now, let us go back to the solar cell. You know these solar panels? Let me call them solar panels, as you normally call them, or solar modules. They have different. In their differences, they are either the differences is in their efficiency. We have all types of solar modules. The way they manufacture them, their manufacturing process, as we said, they are manufactured with the use of the silicon material. And here comes the first, the good with efficiency, a solar cell with good efficiency. Efficiency, I mean the process of generating electricity being high. You know, efficiency is either high or low. We have solar panels which are manufactured with a single silicon material. And these solar panels are called monocrystalline. Monocrystalline. They are called monocrystalline. Monocrystalline solar cells. These are types of cells. Types of solar cells. One, we have monocrystalline. Monocrystalline cells are very good to efficiency, with a high efficiency, or let me use a high efficiency to absorb sun. Check this, don't forget this. They are black. These crystallines, the monocrystallines, they are black in nature. And they have a round edged cell. They are black in nature. You will find their cell like this. Like this. This is one cell. Then another cell. They have this is another cell. Then another cell. They have a curved edged cell. A curved edged cell, as you see these ones. Curved edged cell. Okay? They are curved edged cell. Curved edged cell. Curved edged cell. These are monocrystalline cells, and they are connected in series. Then the last one will produce a positive and a negative. And this is the top cover. Okay. You will find a cell with this curved edged cell. Just note that this is a monocrystalline. It has a very high efficiency. Very good, and its price is not really expensive. It depends in the country you are. The monocrystalline is with curved cells. You see You determine them by you look at the cells, then you can tell either this is monocrystalline or another type. This is monocrystalline cell. It is in black. It is in black in color. And you see why I say it is of high efficiency is because when it is something which is black, absorb heat. And when when the sun rays comes on it, it absorbs the sun rays, and the sun rays makes this silicon material to produce electricity. Okay? Not like the other. If anything which is white, it reflects the light rays. But when it is black, it absorbs the light rays. That's why it produces high efficiency, high voltages, high current to charge the battery. And that's why it is determined to be the one with a high efficiency when you come to solar system. If you're buying your solar panels, look for the one which is black. After getting the color black, check how a cell is molded. It cells, as I said, it has edged corners like this, edged corners and edged corners. It will be like this, not round, but edged, okay? And that will be our monocrystalline solar cell, which is very good. Another type of a solar cell is called polycrystalline solar cell. Now, polycrystalline solar cells, the one with high efficiency is monocrystalline, which is black in color, and have a curved edge on its solar cells, as I showed you. If you see the solar panel, look at the cell, then you can tell that this is of high efficiency, the monocrystalline. Now the polycrystalline solar cell, it is manufactured by getting together the silicon fragments. They combine them together, the fragment from silicon, and they came up with a polycrystalline solar cell, which is in blue. You'll find these solar panels, it is normally in bluish. It is really common everywhere because of its appearance. People like it, and it is not more, it is of less efficiency than monocrystalline. Monocrystalline is has the highest frequency, then polycrystalline has a lower frequency than this, meaning mono is better than polycrystalline solar cell. And if you want to observe them, you will see on your solar panel. Then if you see something like glasses inside, broken glasses inside, as I've told you, they combine the silicon fragments to make a polycrystalline solar cell. It will be in blue in color, bluish or blue in color, but the mono is black with something like curved edged cells. But this The poly, you'll find poly, they may be square with the sides, with the side square like this. This is a cell. Okay? This is a cell, another cell, another cell. These are the connection inside. They will be connected in series. Another cell, another cell, another cell. And this we shall have our polycrystalline. They have a square formed solar cell inside. They are blue in color. Whereas a monocrystalline is having a curved edged solar cell. And because of its efficiency and the price, but this polycrystalline is more expensive than monocrystalline. People mostly go for polycrystalline, thinking that expensive things sometimes they produce better work. But just because it is more on the market than the monocrystalline. Monocrystalline is not common on market. Polycrystalline is common on market. And that's why everyone goes for poly. But if you're a good technician, try to look for monocrystalline. It's very good for your system. And remember to count the cells. Must be 24 cells in the solar panel, so that it makes the function of your system good and efficiency. Now the third type is going to be called thin film. The thin film, which we shall call it amorphous. Amorphous cell. This amorphous cell, they're a bit brownish black with strips. You will find it like this. This is our solar panel with its strips like this. If you see a panel with strips, long strips, not square, just horizontal or vertical, that is amorphous or thin film type of a solar cell, solar panel. And these theories are the solar cell types. The best type is the monocrystalline, which is black in color with high efficiency. The next type is polycrystalline, which is in blue in color. Its cells, they are in triangle form or square form. The thin film or amorphous, they are blackish in brown blackish, and they have strips on the solar panel. This has a low efficiency. If you're a good technician and you go to the market, try to look for a monocrystalline. If you fail to find a monocrystalline, because it is not common to find on the market, then you can go for a polycrystalline, which is in blue in color. But always target the black, because black absorbs the right rays. And when the panel gets those light rays, the cells generate at a high speed electricity, which we use in the houses. Okay? Yeah, and these are the types of amorphous, poly, and mono. Let me give you one of the science behind solar. Its fundamental principle, the fundamental principle of solar, so that you want to understand it very well and master it. We all know that electricity you can't see with your bare eyes or naked eyes. Electricity is unseen, is only measured with some of the equipments, or a multimeter or a meter or ammeter, or voltimeter. Without an instrument, you can't see electricity. But you take this picture of water, compare it with solar, you will see solar flowing very well for you. This is the trick. Solar panel. Let me compare solar PV system, photovoltaic, as we say, the fundamental principle of solar system is its photovoltaic effect. That effect of the sun, that is the solar, heating the panel. The effect of the sun rays heating the panel. This effect, and we shall have our positive and negative power generated. This effect is called photovoltaic. The effect of the photovoltaic system. Now, let us go back. Get your water. Let us compare our solar system and the water system. They have the same principles, as you're going to see. Water is collected, both solar system and water system. See the comparison, the similarity. They all work on the weather patterns, okay? On the weather pattern. If rain comes, rain fall on the roof, okay? The rain fall on the roof, and water is collected on the roof or from the roof. Here comes also, you put it this side of solar. When sun comes, solar panel on the roof collects the sun. Okay? Now here at the water we have the roof, here we have the panel. The panel collects the sun rays. The roof collects the water, the raindrops. Now, these raindrops or rain is going to be taken somewhere for storage. Okay? The same thing applies to solar system. The panel is going to collect voltages. It's going to collect the sun rays and it creates a voltage. And this voltage will be used, we want to use it at night. Okay? Then we need where to store it. That is the battery. The same thing, water is stored in the water tank. Also, the voltage from the solar panel is stored in the battery. You see the comparison? Okay. Another thing, when start using the water, or the way to collect the water from the tank is by using the pipes to transport it from the roof to the tank to the shower. Okay, transporting water from one place to another, they will use pipes. Here comes on the solar part. To transport electricity or energy from the battery, we shall use the cables. Okay, now there is a pipe here. Here we have the cables. They transport water from the tank using the pipe. We transport the power or energy or electricity using from the battery using the cables. There we go on the another side. This water need to be controlled, because when you leave it, it will go and drain the tank. It need to be controlled. Then they applied a valve to control the flow of water in the water sink, in the showers. There is a valve to control, to stop the water flow. Here comes to this side of our solar. We shall apply a regulator, a charge controller, to control the flow of the electricity from the panel to the battery, and from the battery to the appliances. We apply a solar charge controller or a regulator. On the water side, they have applied a valve. Are we together? Now, to use this water, there are showers and taps, the appliances. You open the valve, the water comes to the shower, it comes to the tap, and the water is used. This applies with our solar. We put our radios, TVs, bulbs, charging phones to use the energy from the battery. Here they are using taps. Here we are using lights. The taps drain water from the tank. The lights, the TV, the radio drain energy from the battery. You see the similarity. If you get how the water is collected from rain to the tank and from tank to the shower, the same thing, the solar comes on the solar panel, it goes to the battery, from the battery to the regulator, from regulator to the lights. And that is how solar is being done. And it is the principle of knowing or mastering solar system. As we can see, if you want to use a lot of water or transport a lot of water from one place to another, you use big pipes. So that water goes with high pressure. If you want too much electricity from one place to another, we use big cables. Which big cables will carry electricity, too much amount of electricity from one place to another, from this room to the other room. The same thing applies. The water principle and the solar principle, they look the same. And this is how we shall be looking slowly, and as we go on with our solar systems. That one I've just given you a hint, a comparison between water system, the rainwater and storing and transporting it. The same thing with solar storing and using it in appliances. And that is the way we can use our solar system. Today we have talked about the solar panels. Yes, we have talked about the solar panels. Then we shall come to our next episode in solar system to talk about the regulators, or the cables, or the battery, and the appliances. We shall talk about each one by one. After mastering the solar panel, make sure you also master the next episode. Master this, repeat it, and you master solar panel, so that when we go to another another step. You are not confused. Know the way at the cell, how to tell a solar panel that this is a monocrystalline, this is a poly, this is a amorphous, this is very good for my house. Don't buy a blue one, buy for me a black one. If a black one is not seen, then go for a blue one. Okay? Also, you be your own technician. You estimate what you want. But technicians in solar, in electrical, please get to note how many solar cells are in the panel or a solar module, so that you will not have complaints with your customers that the system is not fully charged, the system doesn't charge fully. Is because you didn't observe the solar panel. How many cells are there? The cells must be 34 so that they can charge your 12-volt battery. If you want too much current, then add on the panel or the module. If you add another module, one module, two module, they become solar panels. Okay? This is for the technicians, so that you don't get calls from your customers. Always count the solar modules and connect them either in parallel or in series. Okay? Because you may not count and you see that this is a solar panel. Check. We shall look at the time. We shall reach on the reading of the technical information on the solar panel sticker. But this is for the technicians, so that you don't get calls at late hours that the system is not working. It is because you didn't count the cells and you didn't size well, as we shall be going how to size the solar system so that it works well on your TV, on your radio, on your lights, without getting off automatic. Thank you for listening. See you in next episode. Don't subscribe and like, comment, and we shall see how the Physics Mindset team get to have a solution for you. Give us any comment, give us any problem in your solar system, then we can tell you what to do. Thank you so much.